Today, we are cracking open a little-known loophole in the financial system. It's something that trips up millions of people, but we're going to show you exactly how to outsmart it.
So, has this ever happened to you? You pay your credit card bill, you pay it in full, right on time, you feel like you're doing everything right, and then you get that notification that your credit score just took a nosedive. It is maddening, right? And it makes you feel like the whole system is rigged.
Okay, so let's make this super specific. Imagine you've got a $5,000 credit limit. You go out, you spend $2,000 on some new furniture. The bill arrives, you pay the full $2,000, no interest paid. You did everything by the book. And yet, the algorithm punishes you anyway. So today, we're explaining exactly why that happens and how a tiny shift in your timing can change absolutely everything. This whole frustrating thing, this paradox, it all boils down to one fundamental misunderstanding of how credit bureaus actually see your financial life. See, you think they're watching the whole movie of your responsible habits, but they're not. The bureaus, they don't get a live feed of your account. They don't see you swipe your card and then pay it off. No, they get a single snapshot, just one picture once a month. And that picture is very often taken at the worst possible moment, right when your financial room is at its messiest, days or even weeks before you clean it all up by paying the bill. You know, we're all trained to obsess over one date, the payment due date. And look, for avoiding interest, that's absolutely correct. But for your credit score, the statement closing date is the one that really matters. This is the day the bank takes that snapshot of your balance and sends that number off to the credit bureaus. Okay, so just look at this timeline. Your billing cycle runs for about 30 days. On day 30, bam, the statement closes. Whatever your balance is at that exact moment, that gets reported. But your payment, it isn't actually due until, say, day 55. So the credit bureaus see that high balance for weeks, even though you paid it off perfectly on time. It's like your score is living in the past on a 30-day delay. So why does this one little snapshot have so much darn power? Well, because it feeds directly into the second biggest factor of your entire credit score. And this chart, wow, it just lays it all out, doesn't it? We all know payment history is king, right there at 35%. But just look at that second slice, amounts owed. This is a massive 30% of your score. And that piece of the pie is almost entirely driven by something called your credit utilization, which is calculated from that one single monthly snapshot. Just let that sink in for a second. Nearly 1/3 of your entire financial reputation is based on this single, often totally misleading data point. If that number is high when the snapshot is taken, your score is going to suffer, period. And the math here is actually super simple. It's just the balance that was reported on your statement closing date divided by your total credit limit. So if your reported balance was $500 on a card with a $1,000 limit, your utilization for that card is 50%. Easy. Here's why this matters so much. The scoring models see high utilization as a huge red flag, like a sign you're in financial trouble. The moment you cross that 30% threshold, you start to look like a risk. You go over 50%, the algorithm starts to think you're in a crisis. And if you get near 90 or 100%, your score can absolutely plummet, even if you paid it all off a week later. All right, so that's the problem. It feels super unfair, I get it, but it's just how the system works. Now for the good news. Once you understand the rules of the game, you can start using them to your advantage. And here's the solution. Okay, this right here. This is probably the most important thing to get. Unlike a late payment that sticks to your report for 7 years, high utilization is a temporary problem. The most common scoring models, like FICO 8, they have no memory of past utilization. As soon as a new, lower balance is reported next month, your score just bounces right back up. This means you can literally take control of that snapshot. And here's exactly how you do it step by step. Number 1, find your statement closing date. Just pull up a PDF of your bill, it's right on there. 2, set a calendar alert for a couple of days before that date. 3, on your reminder day, you log in and you manually pay most of your balance down. You want to let the statement close with just a tiny amount left. And then finally, step 5, pay off that small remaining balance before the actual payment due date. And just like that, you have successfully curated your own credit report. Okay, so now you've got the basics down. If you want to take this to the next level, to really max out your score, there's one more little counterintuitive detail you gotta know. So you're probably thinking, okay, I get it. The goal is to get that balance down to 0 before the statement closes.
Makes sense, right? A low balance is good, so zero must be perfect.
Well, not quite. And this is a huge myth that trips a lot of people up. If you are consistently reporting a $0 balance across all your cards, the scoring algorithm actually gets a little confused. Think about it. It's designed to score how you manage debt. If you show zero debt month after month, it literally has no data to work with. You become what's called a credit ghost, and your score can actually be lower than someone who's showing responsible usage. And this chart just shows it perfectly. Look at this. A high utilization, that hurts your score. A zero utilization, that's good, but it's not the best. The highest scores are often achieved when a tiny balance is reported, somewhere in that sweet spot of 1 to 7%. This shows the algorithm that you are actively and, more importantly, responsibly using credit. Now, I have to be absolutely crystal clear here because this is so important. Reporting a balance is not the same as carrying a balance. If your statement closes with, say, a $10 balance and you pay that $10 in full by the due date, you pay zero interest, not a penny. You get the score boost without it costing you a dime. All right, so you have the core strategy now, but wait, before you run off and do this, let's just quickly cover 3 super common traps that can completely wreck all your hard work. First up, relying on autopay. Look, autopay is great for avoiding late fees, but for this strategy, it's useless. It's set to pay by the due date, which is way too late to affect the snapshot. You have to make a manual payment before the statement closes. Second, avoid something called credit cycling. That's when you max out your card, pay it off, max it out again, all in 1 month. Banks see this as really risky behavior, and they can shut down your account for it. And finally, whatever you do not close your old, unused credit cards. You instantly lose all that available credit from your total, which can make your utilization percentage shoot way up. So really what this all comes down to is a choice. The system is built on a set of rules, and by understanding those rules, you can shift from being a passive victim of the algorithm to becoming the active manager of your own data. You have the lever now. Seriously, you now know more about this little corner of the credit world than pretty much 99% of people out there. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with that knowledge? Are you ready to take control of your snapshot?